Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni.
Good morning, Ruben.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rufai. You are back. You are welcome. Good morning, Ayo. Now we start the review with this day Nigeria's newspaper of record. The lead story: Tinubu, if elected, will eliminate corruption. Says his government will support establishment of construction bank. Yes, the flag bearer of the APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, yesterday promising that he will eliminate corruption if elected. Yes, of course, he also promised at that function where he met with stakeholders in this construction industry that he will also establish a construction bank to which those stakeholders in the construction industry will be part owners. The government will only try to facilitate that if he is elected. But this headline clearly, of course, when you analyze, as political analysts do, the strengths and weaknesses of presidential candidates, on the weakness side of Tinubu, perception of corruption is always part of that. So it's quite interesting to see him say that we will eliminate corruption. We don't want to scare away investors of today and tomorrow, but we promise you we will eliminate corruption. Part of it is that we look at ourselves too. Tinubu there speaking. Now, if we just look at the story above the masthead, Buhari pours cold water on Emefiele's traducers. Welcome CBN governor back from leave. Says no nation can develop without peace. Well, I wouldn't want to read too much to this kind of welcome, as if the trouble is over, because what the DSS has been doing, both at the airport and their efforts at the courts to get Emefiele arrested, I'm not too sure whether the president is not in the know. But for now, the court's order is that Emefiele should not be arrested. He's back to his beats. He'll be presiding over the MPC meeting on Monday and Tuesday. And he had that opportunity to be welcomed back by none other than the president, who is the person who has the power by law to remove the central bank governor, if he wills. Now, the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, Ibadan-based Nigerian Tribune, reporting Ibadan rally for Atiku may be way forward for G5. National Assembly candidates in attendance. Makinde receives praises for support, mobilization. Party leaders campaign for him. Ladoja Adeojo acknowledged for roles played. APC has failed to implement all its committed to do since 2015. Atiku speaking. No single person group can control PDP. It's a party. It's a people's party. Ayu, the chairman of the party, speaking there, Atiku only prepared presidential candidate. Tambuwa, Atiku Okowa Campaign Council hails Oyo rally unity. Now, of course, is this a template of what we'll see in Rivers, in Abia, in Benue, and in Enugu states when the PDP presidential campaign will hit those states? Well, all the candidates except the governor showed up. And what does that tell you? Of course, they had the opportunity to also campaign for Sheyi Makinde, as it were, because he's a poster boy of the party. And I can imagine Atiku going to Rivers State, even if Nyesom Wike does not attend. You will showcase Nyesom Wike and his Project Magic Mr. Project, because he's a PDP governor after all. But perhaps there's still some reconciliation to be done, because the G5 governors promised Nigerians January 5 we will announce the candidate we are supporting. But ever since, they've been talking tongue-in-cheek. We have not decided. We will soon decide. We will soon decide. So we'll see how it pans out. Now, the Vanguard newspaper, federal government increases petrol price to 185 naira per liter. Ex-depot price now 167 naira per liter. Major marketers adjust prices, but queues persist. Independent marketers still sell far above new price. A step in the right direction, but insufficient. CPPE, labor kicks, calls for mass rejection when we're already buying. For 250, labor calling for mass rejection of 185. Are they in this country? Or the labor leaders just...
Labor's hypocrisy.
Or labor leaders just want to say something. But as the Guardian reports this story, again, petrol price adjusted to 185 naira per liter to appease marketers. Secret approvals of pump price, a departure from PIA objectives. Marketers seek full deregulation. Well, for now, 185. Of course, this is the second time in 6 months. Recall that sometime in June last year, there was an adjustment from 160 naira to between 170 and 175 naira per liter. Well, this has been done quietly. The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulation Authority and the NMPC, they have not said anything. But of course, the Guardian newspaper cited the circular giving this instruction. Now, the Punch is reporting rising petrol price hits 300 naira per liter. Yes, that's what people are buying in the outskirts of Lagos, between 250 and 300 naira, and in many parts of the country. So if Labour is kicking against 185, they had better not kick themselves this time around. Now, the Daily Trust newspaper, despite CBN's directive, bank ATMs still dispensing old naira notes. Apex Bank insists on January 31 deadline. Emefiele briefs Buhari on progress. Sultan urges extension. Headers reject new notes for fear of counterfeit. However, we just have to state clearly that many ATMs are still dispensing old notes. But I have been getting new notes. I have a lot of them in my pockets. I'm not trying to tease anybody who is still...
About 5 million.
No. 5 million will not go into my purse and pocket. But at least...
Thanks, Mr. Ifeanyi. I received my first set of notes, 200, yes. 500, and 1,000 naira notes.
At least you have the new naira notes.
I'm keeping them close to me. I'm not.
But I think if you have enough to be spending,
no, they're not supposed to be museum pieces.
No, because meant to be spent. Ruben, these days I only spend the new notes, because if I get the old note from any ATM, I dispense of it immediately. I spend it immediately so that I can.
You democratize access.
Correct.
To the new notes.
I've been unnecessarily generous in recent times because of this new note. But it's okay. It's good to be generous. Now, the foreign newspapers, quickly, the Guardian newspaper, Tory areas allocated more cash from levelling up fund. Tory constituencies have been awarded significantly more money from government's £4 billion levelling up fund than areas of similar levels of deprivation, according to the Guardian analysis. Well, the disclosure is bound to provoke further fury from some regional leaders who accuse Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister, of offering pre-election bribes.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar.
I'm not surprised about the gerrymandering that goes on in England, which is a very sad, reflection of what is happening. The leveling up money was to be able to make people level up underprivileged areas, get some funding, and now they are shipping most of those monies to the constituency. It is sad and appalling.
Talking about
it's time for Tory
up,
to go.
the Prime Minister yesterday, went on visited some parts, for the second round of leveling up, and he went in a private jet. And it became a big issue.
That's
he's wasting money. What kind of leveling up is this? I laughed at the story. I said, come to Nigeria and come and see the number of private jets around there. And as for the CBN governor, you were saying the president can remove the CBN governor. No, you can only remove the CBN governor under Section 11 of the CBN Act. And one of the provisions there is that even if the president wants to remove him, he needs the concurrence of 2/3 of the Senate. So it's not that easy to just sack the CBN governor.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel Efeni. Thank you very much indeed.